Hello, Texas Ranger fans. This is King Ikibu coming to you live from the underground bunker deep beneath hot and humid Tuktoyaktuk, where today we are going to play the Final Four of the Texas Ranger Madness Tournament. The Final Four Series number 2 between the 1995 Texas Rangers, who are the 14 seed, and the number 2 seed, the 1981 Texas Rangers. Waiting to face them are the number 9 seed, the 1980 Texas Rangers. So what we've been doing here is playing all the games, all the teams, National Pastime 3 from 1980 to 1999 by franchise. So for Minnesota Twins, we already completed their tournament, and the 1990 Twins won the tournament. Then we played the Chicago Cubs, and the 1984 Cubs won that tournament. Then we played the Seattle Mariners, and the 1997 Mariners won that tournament. And now we're playing the Texas Rangers, and the number 14 seed, the 1995, have progressed all the way. Let's see if I can show you the bracket, how this happened. I think it's this one. Let's see if so you can see here, the number 1 seed lost to the 1994 Rangers. Number 1 seed was the 96 Rangers, and they lost to the 94 Rangers, who lost to the 1980 Rangers, who won in the Final Four against the 5th seed, 1998. So they are waiting for the winner of this series between 1995 and 1981. Each team is seeded based on their Pythagorean win-loss percentage, and that's how we rank them or seed them, and that's how we got to this point here. Now, each series is a best of 3 with the top 3 starters each playing. The number 1 starter on both teams playing game 1, 2, second starter, and game 3, the number 3 starters. And it's a 3-game series. Sometimes there's a sweep, and sometimes we have a game 3, and we have a game 3 here in the Final Four. Let's look at this series. What's happened so far in the Final Four? The 14th seed, 1995, who beat 1992, the 19 seed, to get in. They had to go into the play-in round, and they got in by defeating 1992. Then they met in 1993, the 3rd seed in the Sweet 16. They swept them 2 straight. Then they faced the 11th seed in the Elite 8, 1989, and swept them 2 straight. And what I have to mention is Dean Palmer. He's not allowed to start because he was not the number 1 third baseman on the Rangers in 1995, but he can come off the bench anytime after the 6th inning or following, and he has done amazing job. I think he was 1 for 2 in the last game, but up to that point, before the last game, I think I have his numbers here somewhere. Yes, he had 7 at-bats, 6 hits, 1 double, 4 homers, 6 RBIs, 3 walks for an .857 batting average and a 2.714 slugging percentage. He has been incredible. So in that game, the 1981 had the 5-2 lead, but the 1995s came back and tied it in the 8th on a Dean Palmer home run. And then they scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th to win game 1. That made a winner of Ed Vosberg, who won his 2nd game of the tournament. Jeff Russell got his 3rd save. Made a loser of John Matlack. In game 2, it was Doc Medich against Roger Pavlik. And in that game, the 81s got off to an early lead. They led it by 8-1 after 5 innings. And then the 95s came back with 4 straight runs to make it look close, but it ended up 8-5. The player of the game was Jim Sundberg, who was a very underrated player in the early 80s for the Rangers. And it's the 3rd time he has been the player of the game. So 8-5 in game 2. Like I said, the 95s scored late to make it look closer than it really was. And now here in Game 3, the rubber match to see who goes up against 1980 in the Texas Ranger Final. Pitching tonight for the 1995s, the 14 seeds, is Kevin Gross. He is 1-0, 1.80 in the tournament. In real life, he was 9-15. 5.54 ERA. So he's pitched much better in the tournament than he did in real life. There's only one reliever. So the way I play it is there's 7 relievers and 1 closer. So 8 total relievers in for each team. And each one of those 7 non-closer relievers has to appear once before the relievers can be in the game, in the series, a second time. So there's only one pitcher remaining for the 95s, and that is Matt Whiteside. Pitching for the 81s tonight is Rick Honeycutt. In the tournament so far, he is 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA. In real life, he was 11-6 with a 3.31. So I would say the 81s have the pitching advantage in this third game. And in the major 1980s best and worst replay that I've been working on for the last 8 years, Rick Honeycutt in 1981 was 9-12 with a 2.88 ERA. Relievers that have to appear first for the 81s are Bob Babcock, John Butcher, Fergie Jenkins, and Schmidt. Is it Bob Schmidt? Dave Schmidt have to appear before we can use the guys who've been already appeared, like Matt Lack and John Henry Johnson and Charlie Huff. Okay, so we're ready for this game here today, the rubber match. Here's the lineup for the 1995 Texas Rangers, the 14 seed, who are the Cinderella of this tournament. They've won 7 and lost 2 in the tournament. Leading off and playing in center field, Otis Nixon, who's batting .409 in the tournament in 46 plate appearances. Batting second, Mark McLemore at second base. Batting third, Will Clark, the first baseman. Batting fourth, Juan Gonzalez, the right fielder. Batting fifth, Mickey Tettleton, the designated hitter. Batting sixth, Rusty Greer, the left fielder. Batting seventh, Pudge Rodriguez, the catcher. Batting eighth, Mike Pagliarulo, who's only in there for the first 5 innings, and then he's relieved all the time by Dean Palmer. Batting ninth, the only shortstop on the team, Benji Gill, but he's a good one with a 9 rating. For the 1981 Rangers, leading off and playing center field, Mickey Rivers. Batting second, the right fielder, Billy Sample. Batting third, the third baseman, Buddy Bell. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Al Oliver. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Leon Roberts. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Pat Putnam. Batting seventh, the catcher, Jim Sundberg. Batting eighth, Bump Wills at second base. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Mario Mendoza. And I always like to see what the Mendoza line is. And so far in this tournament, he had a bad game yesterday. So he was batting in the 400s. Now he's batting .348. So the official Mendoza line is .348 in this tournament. So as you can see, Rick Honeycutt's on the mound for the 81s. And he is 1-0 with a .338 ERA. He's only appeared once, as the 81s have won their previous games. Let's see who they beat. We didn't go through that. The 81s, to get to this point in the Final Four, faced in the Sweet 16. They faced 1988, the 18th seed, and beat them 2-1, 2 games to 1. And then in the Elite 8, they faced the 1986, which are the darling of Texas Ranger fans. I think a lot of Texas Ranger fans love the 86 Rangers because they were bad from 1982 to 1985, and 86 they were good again. So they're a favorite of many Ranger fans, but the 81s swept them in the series 2-0. So let's get this one underway. The rubber match to see who will face 1980 in the Texas Final Championship Series. So here is Rick Honeycutt and Otis Nixon, who, like I said, is batting .409 in the series, in the tournament. And he walks. He's going to try to steal. And he gets thrown out. Jim Sundberg throws him out. Otis Nixon. So 1 up and 1 down for Mark McLemore. He's batting .257 with a .386 on base percentage, .429 slugging as a homer, and 6 RBIs in the tournament. Here's the pitch to McLemore. He flies out to right field. The right fielder is Billy Sample. Here's Will Clark. He's disappointing in this tournament. In real life, he had an on base of .389 and a slugging of .480, but in the tournament, he only has an on base of .250 and a slugging of .189 with no homers and 5 RBIs. Will he get it going? If he doesn't get it going, it's going to make it that much harder for the 95s to get to the final. And he pops out to the third baseman, Buddy Bell. Here is Kevin Gross. He's only a 5.3 CL. He's got to get through 5 innings. That always is the King Ikeboo rules. He's got to get 5 innings no matter what. If he gives up 25 runs, so sad. But he's got to go 5 innings. But so far he's pitched very well, although he's only pitched in 1 game. 1-0, 180. So that says that the 95s have swept most of their series, as this is only his second appearance. Here's Mickey Rivers batting .207, .258 on base, .276 slugging with no homers and 1 RBI. And he's going to error number change is a possible error, and it's not an error. He flies out to the center fielder Nixon, who got thrown out in the first inning. Here's Billy Sample. He's batting .296 with .387 on base, .370 slugging. And he flies out to center field again. Nixon is busy. Here's Buddy Bell batting .333 with 2 homers and 7 RBIs. He's been one of the best hitters, obviously, on the 81 team. And he grounds out to the third baseman, Paliarulo. So we go to the top of the second. Here's Juan Gonzalez batting .256 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. He has not gone on base very much, but he has a good slugging percentage. And he flies out to the left fielder, who is Leon Roberts. Here's Mickey Tettleton. He has 3 homers and 6 RBIs in the series, or in the tournament, but he's only batting .167. But he's always been a walking man, as he gets on base a lot with a .390 and a .467 slugging. And he doubles. So he's a slow runner. We're going to put the brakes on Mickey Tettleton with that famous upright batting stance of his. Here's Rusty Greer. He's had a very good tournament. .371 on batting average, .450 on base, .686 slugging, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. And he's got an error number of 17. Possible error if we roll 11. He rolls a 46. He's out. Mickey Tettleton stays at second base. Here's Pudge. Pudge is batting .314, .351, .514 with a homer and 5 RBIs. We will leave the brakes on Tettleton so he doesn't get thrown out the plate on a single. And he grounds out to the second baseman, who is Bump Wills. So after 1.5 to score, 1995 nothing, 1981 nothing. Here's Al Oliver. Kevin Gross got through his first inning without any damage. So here's Al Oliver. He's batting .321, .387, .429 with no homers and 7 RBIs. Never was a great home run hitter. He was just a clutch hitter, doubles, single hitter. Should be in the Hall of Fame. A great guy. I don't understand it. Anyway, maybe he was overshadowed all those years in Pittsburgh by Clemente and by, although he didn't play much with Clemente, but more by Parker and of course Pop Stargell. But here's Oliver. Flies out to center field. It's the third time it's been hit to Nixon. Leon Roberts batting .250 with no homers and 2 RBIs. He strikes out. Pat Putnam with 1 homer, 3 RBIs, batting .172. And he walks. Will he try to steal? No, he won't. Here's Sundberg. He's batting .300, no homers, 3 RBIs. On base, .440. He's already thrown out Nixon. Here's 2 out to Sundberg. And he flies out again to Nixon. 4 putouts by Nixon in 2 innings. Here's Paliarulo. He's batting .200 with a homer and 5 RBIs. And he fouls out to the third baseman, Bell. Benji Gill batting .206 with a homer and 6 RBIs. He grounds out to the shortstop, who is Mario Mendoza. And second time up for Nixon. He walked and got thrown out trying to steal. And let's see what this means. Foul ball. He gets another roll. And he grounds out to Mendoza again. Here's Bump Wills. Second time he's been up. Surprisingly, he has 2 homers in this tournament. And in real life, he only had, let's look here, Bump Wills had 2. So he's in 25 plate appearances. Bump Wills has matched all the homers that he had in real life in 454 plate appearances. So here's Wills, and he grounds out. So far, Gross has been, is he perfect? Not quite perfect, but he has not given up a hit so far. Here's Mario Mendoza, who in real life, he batted 231, which is probably one of his better seasons, but nothing like he is in this tournament, batting 348. And he singles. So what's the Mendoza line now? The Mendoza line is 375. See if he tries to steal. Yes, we'll try. Oh, he almost did. He needed a 12. He rolled a 13, but he's still on first base. Here's Mickey Rivers. Rivers flew out to Nixon the first time up. And he gets double ones. Let's see what he can do. There's a homer at 11. There's a homer at 33. There's a homer at 66. Which makes sense because Mickey Rivers only hit 3 homers all season in 1981. Let's see what he can roll here. 21. That is a double. And it can be because Gross is an L, can be extended to a home run. No, it's over. We had to roll 11 to 15. We rolled to 25. So it stays a double. Let's see what Mendoza's going to do. He goes to third. So he doesn't try to score. Here is Billy Sample. 2 men on, 1 out. Here in the third inning, the first real threat. We're going to put the infield in. We're going to pitch the Sample as Bell has been incredible in this tournament. And he strikes out Sample. What a clutch pitch by Kevin Gross. 2 out now for Buddy Bell. They're going to pitch to him as Mr. Clutch is in the on-deck circle. And he gets a base hit. Buddy Bell hits a 2-run single with 2 outs. And the score is now 1981 2, 1995 nothing. Put the brakes on Bell. He will not try to steal. He will not try to advance. Check all restrictions. Here's Al Oliver. He flew out to Nixon first time up. And he gets a single. He beats out an infield hit. Here's Leon Roberts. I think Leon Roberts was a great theologian, if I remember right. Wrote some really excellent commentaries on the Bible. And now he's playing baseball. That is excellent. He gets a chance. He rolled double ones. And let's see if he can get a home run. In real life, Leon Roberts had 4 homers. Let's see if he can get one here. Rolls the dice, 46. That is a 6. He has a chance because of the L. Let's see. We have to roll 11 to 22. 24. No home run. It remains a 6 and 2-run score. And the score is now 1981 4 and 1995 nothing. 2 clutch, well, I guess 3, but 2 run scoring singles with 2 out here in the third inning. Here's Pat Putnam. He walks. Kevin Gross is reeling. He's down to a D, and can he hang on? Sundberg, and he hits into a fielder's choice. Gill to McLemore to end the threat and the inning. Not before 4 runs were scored by the 81s, and the score is 1981 4, 1995 nothing through 3 innings. The 95s have work to do, but this is a lineup that can score a bunch of runs, so they are not out of it yet. Here's McLemore. First time up, he flied out to right field. That is Billy Sample. Honeycutt is still going strong. Fouled out to the third baseman, Bell. I think that's the third time Bell has made an out. Let's see if my memory is correct. Yep, 3 times put outs by Buddy Bell. And he had the big hit as well. Here's Will Clark. He gets a double. He's a fast runner. It's hard to believe, but he is in 1995. Gonzalez. 95s need to get some runs to get back in this ball game. Struck him out. Here's Mickey Tettleton. Oh, that's going to be a usually 1-2. There's no worse of a roll than 1-2. That usually means a double play. Let's see if it is. You have to roll 11 to avoid the double play. Not avoided. And it's a line drive out that catches Will Clark snapping. Not snapping, but napping. And that's the end of the inning. After 3.5, 1981 4, 1995 nothing. Here's Bump Wills. He grounded out to second base first time up. Grounds out to the pitcher. Mendoza singled and scored a run. Mendoza's on again. What is the Mendoza line now? It's back to 400. He will try to steal. 54 doesn't get it. Isn't that a famous discotheque? Studio 54. Here is Mickey Rivers. Flied out to right. Runner holds. Billy Sample. Double ones. Mendoza could score his second run of the game. He gets a 16. He probably will. Let's see if he will. I think so. With 2 out. It's 5-0. Mendoza has 2 runs scored in the game. And all the runs by the 81s have been scored with 2 out. Kevin Gross is on the ropes. And he gets another 2-out hit. Again by Buddy Bell. It's 6-0. Put the brakes on Buddy Bell. Al Oliver. And they're out of the inning. But after 4 innings, 1981, 6. 1995, nothing. It's still not over, though. This team can score runs in a hurry. Here's Rusty Greer. They have to start to do it soon. And I can't put in Dean Palmer in this inning because we have not passed the 5th inning. Rusty Greer, he will try to steal. Might as well. There's no downside. Here's Pudge. He ground to the second baseman first time up. And this time, he gets a strike on the batter. Another roll for Pudge. We get another roll? No, it's going to be a fly out for the first out of the inning. Here's Paliarulo. He popped out to the third baseman first time up. He gets a single. He says, hey, don't downplay me. I can get on base too. Here's Benji Gill. He homered yesterday. Can he do it again? He only had 9 in the 1995 season, I believe. Yes, 9. And it's error number changed from 18 to 19. He has a chance of getting on if he rolls 11. He doesn't roll 42. He fouls out to the catcher, Sundberg. Here's Otis Nixon. He's still batting 400. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Nixon. Single and score. So with 2 out, they get a 2-out single of their own. Otis Nixon drives in Rusty Greer, and it's 6-1. He will not try to steal. He got burned last time. He respects Sundberg's arm. Here's McLemore. And I don't think he could go sit in the dugout if he gets in a 6-1 deficit, gets thrown out at second base with 2 out and a runner at third. Here's his McLemore. He flies out. So after 4.5, it's 6-1. Now Kevin Gross, he has to get through this inning. And then we will see Mr. Whiteside in the 6th. How important it is to hold the fort here in his final inning. He gets double ones. Leon Roberts, 13. That is a double. Could possible home run. He gets the second he bypasses the first gatekeeper. He's at the second gatekeeper. If he rolls 11 to 26, it's a homer. It's a home run for Leon Roberts, the great theologian. Homers. His first home run of the tournament. And it's back to a 6-run game. Pat Putnam. I don't want to doubt myself. Let's see. Leon Roberts. I am pretty darn sure. Let's see. Of course, he wouldn't be. Leon Roberts. Is this him? I don't know. That doesn't look like it. He was a writer. Wasn't he? Dr. Leon Dr. Leon Roberts. He wrote many commentaries, I believe. See, I'm not totally out to lunch yet. Anyway. Pat Putnam is up. So Leon Roberts homers. See if I can get the screen back up. There we go. No, that's the wrong one. This one. And here, so 1 up, 1 home run. That's not exactly holding the fort. Kevin Gross. Ground to third base. 1 out. Sundberg. Single to Sundberg. Bump Wills. I'll reach on an error. He needed his defense. But Paliarulo, who's about to be pulled, makes the error. 2 men on. Here's Mendoza. Mendoza grounds out, but the runners advance. Mickey Rivers. So he gets out with 1 run after 5 complete. It's 7-1, 1981. Honeycutt is still going strong. Here's Clark, who is 1 for 2 with a double. And he gets a strike, gets another roll. And he gets a double, his second double of the game. Juan Gonzalez flied out and struck out. And he flies out again, but Clark goes to third. 1 out. They need this run. Tettleton, he can't strike out. The runner holds, hits it right to the third baseman, Bell, who looks Clark back, throws him out for the second out of the inning. Here is Rusty Greer. Walks. Pudge Rudd, if he gets on, we're going to see Dean Palmer. He's going to get on, not just with anything, but he gets double sixes. 22, that is a home run for Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge Rodriguez gets the home run. How many home runs is that? That's number 2 for Rodriguez in the tournament. And Honeycutt is tired. So he's going to come out of the game. So here's step number 1. Dean Palmer is coming into the game at this point with his .750 batting average, .833 on base, 2.375 slugging percentage with 4 homers, 6 RBIs, and 12 plate appearances. Striking fear in the hearts of the 81s, and now it's only a 3-run game. And Honeycutt's coming out of the game, and we're going to bring in Fergie Jenkins to get him out of the way. Fergie Jenkins comes in. It's his second appearance in this tournament, yes. And he is 0-0-0-0. One of the worst seasons for Fergie Jenkins in his life was 1981. And he's going to try to stay. He's going to face Dean Palmer. There's 2 out. If he gets through this inning, he can be relieved in the 7th. It's like he's got to pitch 3 batters or reach the end of the inning. Here's Palmer. He walks. That's not too bad for Fergie. Could have been worse. Here's Benji Gill. And this is the guy who wants to get out. He does. Inning over, but not before. Pudge Rodriguez hits a 3-run homer, scoring Clark and Greer. And the score is now through 5.5 innings. It is 1981 7 and 1995 4. And that's it for Gross. Now we're going to see Mr. Matt Whiteside. He's going to come in. That is Whiteside's, how many appearances is that? His 3rd appearance of this tournament. He's 1-0 with a 2.70 ERA. Much better ratings than Mr. Gross, as he is a 8.36X. He's going to face Billy Sample. Is there anybody worthwhile putting in on the bench? Bobby Jones can hit home runs. Stein is good to bring in. And he plays a lot of positions, although it's a downgrade. I'll think about putting him in for Wells or the Mendoza. I like Mendoza at the 400 mark. So to leave him there, we might bring in Mr. Stein. Mr. not Ben Stein, Bill Stein. Alex Stein. Primetime 99. Here we go. Whiteside. He strikes out Sample. He's got to be flawless now, as the entire 1995 bullpen has to be flawless. Here's Buddy Bell. He's 2 for 3. He has 3 RBIs and a run scored. He is a very good candidate for our player of the game. And he grounds out. Here's Al Oliver. Oliver's 1 for 3 with a run scored. He flies out. So good job by Whiteside. That'll be it for Jenkins. We're not going to push our luck. Okay, we got some Butcher's pretty good. We're going to bring in John Butcher. He's going to come into the game. And this is the first appearance of the tournament. The starting pitchers for the 1981 team are that good. They pitch deep into ball games. They don't need the bullpen much, but they have a great bullpen. This 1981 Rangers team has excellent pitching. By far, Fergie Jenkins is the worst, but they really are loaded in the bullpen as well. Butcher, Bob Babcock, you can look at his card, very good. 15-2. He does have a W, which is probably one of the worst ratings in the game. He walks a lot of people, but he has a Y. He's a very effective pitcher. We also have, who else? We have Comer's the closer. Danny Darwin's a starter. Charlie Huff, 13-2 XYG. John Henry Johnson, 11-3Z. Matlack, 8-3. And Dave Schmidt, 8-1ZH, who is very, very good. So one of the best bullpens in this tournament is the 1981 bullpen for the Rangers. Here is Nixon. He's going to have to face an A pitcher with an X and an I. Very slim chance of a home run. We should have had him on pitching to Palmer. Here's Nixon. Grounds out. Mark McLemore strikes out. Will Clark strikes out. What a pitching performance by Butcher. Whiteside's going to pitch another inning if he can. Here's Roberts, who homered last time up. And he could have another homer. Let's see, 53. It's a double. I don't think he has any L, so there's no anti-voodoo. So the Roberts is on second base. Here's Putnam. Should we bring someone in for some, give some other guys some chance to play? No great first baseman to take. We're saving Stein for Mendoza. Here's Putnam. He flies out. Sundberg, we're not going to take him out. He's like the MVP of the team. Strikes out, and Bump Wills. He gets double ones. 41. That scores the 8th run for the 81s. He'll try to steal. No, he won't. Normally, Bump Wills is an excellent base stealer. Okay, there's Mendoza. So we're going to bring in Stein. Primetime Stein. It's coming into the game. He is batting 1 for 1 with a 1,000 batting average. Here is the pitch to Bill. Oh, he's a D now. So he just went down to a D. So we can put in anybody now. We will bring in Roger McDowell. Since we can bring in anybody. He's one of the better pitchers. He has to hold. There's only 2 innings left that the 95s have to get back in this game. Here's Stein. Strikes out. Okay, Butcher staying in. There's no reason to take him out at this point. Juan Gonzalez. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And he strikes out again. Here's Mickey Tettleton. He is 0 for 3. And looks like he'll be no, he gets another roll. He has a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Mickey Tettleton. He walks. What he is so good at doing. He's staying in the game. We're just going to put it. You can't take any chances. In fact, we should put all the restrictions on. All restrictions on Tettleton. You are anchored to the first base bag. Here's Greer. And, oh, what's happening here? What's happening here? He flies out, runner holds. Okay, we'll take some restrictions off him. If it's a double, he can try to steal or try to get home. Here's Pudge. Pudge homered last time up. Give the 95 some hope. Here's another, oh, and he hits into a fielder's choice. Roger McDowell in the 8th inning. Still 8-4, 1981. Rivers. Grounded out. Sample. Double sixes, 35. That is a double. Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell's 2 for 4. What's this? Struck him out. Al Oliver. Grounded out to the first baseman. Butcher is done. It's not a save situation, so we will bring in Dave Schmidt. Dave Schmidt's first appearance in this. See, a pitcher this good that's just making his first appearance in the tournament in the Final Four, which shows how great this pitching staff is. Here's Palmer. His batting average after the walk is still 750. Here's the pitch to Palmer. Ooh, a rare ground out. Hits it to the pitcher. Throws him out. That's Schmidt handcuffs him. Benji Gill. We're in the 9th. That looks like an out. It is. Down to the last at-bat, Nixon, who is 1 for 4 with a walk. And he walks again. He's not stealing. Macklemore. They need base runners. They got 2 base runners. 2 out. Schmidt. Okay, this is a save situation now. Do we put in the closer? We're going to put in the closer. Steve Comer. Steve Comer, how many appearances has he made? In real life, he was only the closer because for some reason, Jim Kern was the closer, but then they traded him away. So then Steve Comer, by default, became the closer late in the season in 1981. And he's 3 for 3 in save opportunities. He's got 2.67 innings. He has no ERA and a WHIP of .38. They just roll out great reliever after great reliever on this team, which is why it looks like they're going to the championship to face 1980. Here's Will Clark trying to end that. He has to get on base, and then Gonzalez has to hit a home run. Let's see. Here's Will Clark. Strikes him out. Game is over. Series is over. And it's final now that the 1981 Texas Rangers, the number 2 seed, defeat the 1995 14 seed Rangers by a score of 8-4. They lose the first game of the tournament, of the series, and then win games 3 and 4 to advance to the championship against 1980. The player of the game, it looks like it's Leon Roberts to me. Do you have a better? No, he was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. So yes, Leon Roberts is the player of the game. We thank you for tuning in to Texas Ranger Baseball. We're once again here in the Final Four, deciding game. The 1981 Rangers 8 runs, 13 hits, no errors, and the 1995 Rangers 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. This is King Ikibu signing off. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.